After all this presentation, summarizing the ECOCAP results, we have to keep in mind that the chemical risk assessment, which was the principal objective of this project, is the first step to target compounds of higher concerns. So we need to refine the environmental pressure and the scale of assessments so that we can propose its a characterization and quantification of the release induced, and to understand the behavior of this release induced and effect in the marine environment. So that we can propose as a future action is to investigate chemical local accumulation around the offshore wind foundation, and particularly to focus on the sediment compartments and the living organisms, organisms living in this compartment of the environment, of the marine environment. So for this, we can perform more other laboratory experiments and in the same time monitoring the different release induced in the real configuration of the implementation of the offshore wind farm. So all this data can could feed the numerical modelization that could be performed to assess the future of the mobility of these elements of this release in this compartment that was not considered in the ECOCAP project. So we can propose to improve the knowledge on ICCP release, such as the chlorine production rate and the chlorination byproducts, to follow the first investigation that Jean-Luc described to you. It will engage again laboratory experiment dedicated to ICCP elements released from this cathodic protection, and at the same time, like for GACP, focus on the sedimentary compartment. We have to follow and monitoring to monitor this element in realistic in situ condition of the environment, and propose more and complete bioessay, ecotoxicological bioessay to complete the first result given from ECOCAP project in the risk assessment approach. Perform this new bioessay to refine the risk assessment analysis, in particular to complete aluminium from GACP, considering the sedimentary approach. And the impact of the element released from aluminium of the GACP integrated to the sedimentary compartments. Settle battery of exposures with ICCP, since only 2 bioassays in acute conditions were conducted in ECOCAP project, and finally assess the risk assessment on the cocktails of the component, which was not performed before, and it's really a big challenge in the future to consider all the components or the chemical elements released from this cathodic protection. So we have to also to define environmental survey in offshore wind farm. It is essential to identify existing chemical elements within this offshore wind farm, and to estimate levels and differentiate inputs from of these chemical elements. So we can combine different approaches. Firstly, it is very necessary to develop protocols to monitor, to follow, and to consider all of these elements and their effect on the living organisms in the different compartments studied. To consider all marine compartments, so it involves again, laboratory experiments in controlled conditions and monitoring in situ conditions. So all data, again, to feed as a numerical modelization that could be give us more information for the prevision of the release of these elements in the environment, and to define relevant chemical for tracing activities of the offshore wind farm with the same approach of combined laboratory experiments and monitoring in situ. Develop use passive integrative samplers, as said before, to have a traceability of the elements released from the cathodic protection, and to distinguish these elements from their natural inputs. As Mathieu said, the principal risk analysis give us the more important information that is that the offshore wind farm are not the principal origin of the effect that some elements can have on living organisms, but natural inputs are very involved in these results. We have to use biomonitoring assessments and anticipate ecological quality of the offshore wind farm. So all these different actions could be combined to feed the different results that we could have getting before with the ECOCAP project. So thank you, and I think now we've got the question if we have.